So, hello and welcome to the fourth episode of this series where I document my quest to program a retro game for the ZX81. So, I've now finished the opening, so let's see what happens. So you've seen the start screen, and then the dialog starts. First against an empty screen, and a little bit of user guidance there as well. Press any key except space to advance. And then the dialog unfolds. So I'll fast forward through slowly unfolding dialogue, and I think I said that before. I think it's a feature that this is so slow, so similar to speech that you would have in modern games. Here you get one word after the other and don't see everything immediately. So I think that's a nice thing. So and when the first officer says energy is restored, then one get to see the main view screen and the menu. And we'll have more dialogue, the exposition. So the need for the command codes is then when the player needs to enter some details. So the captain's name, then the gender, and that determines the name of the first officer, whether they are male or female. So it's always the opposite. And then two elements of the backstory. So the player can have been a tactical officer or an engineering officer. And the second one is an achievement. So did they win a battle or did they negotiate a treaty? And that both will determine then options in the later game that are available or not available, of work or fail. And then we have more exposition. One more choice to simply to give the player the idea that this exists. So these choices in normal dialogues, not just when you have these options. So now the computer is back up, so we can see the main view screen. And there are the stars, and there is the attacker. And if you watch the second episode with the screen editor, then you saw at the end that that's something I've drawn in the screen editor, and this was now extremely easy to put that ship into this program that I knew which keys to press in which lines that produce these particular graphical characters. So that's now the end of the opener. And then one could start playing the game by using the menus, and I've also now at least wired in the menus. So when I, for instance, want to set course, so 1-1, then the command comes. But the engines are offline, so nothing happens. And the same then for a number of other commands as well. So I think when the helm officer wants to start the impulse engines, the same thing happens. So that makes my life a little bit easier because I've now by now used I think half the memory. I think I have a bit below 8K left. And yeah, so now would be the time then to figure out which commands do what and help get out of a sticky situation with the attacker on screen and not knowing who that is or what they want. And that's then the whole point of the game. So again, I hope this was interesting. And stay tuned for further updates. So next update will be then the first sort of thread going through the entire story that this can actually be finished.